the Arctic's harsh embrace, the walrus, red fox, and Arctic wolf embody survival. The walrus, powerful and resilient. The fox, clever and agile. The wolf, fierce and fearless. Together, they paint a stunning picture of life in the frozen wild. Wild tracks. Surviving the Arctic. Walruses and the struggles of a changing ecosystem. The Arctic region, where the frozen land meets the ocean, serves as a home for numerous resilient species. Polar bears silently hunt on drifting ice. Penguins gather in massive groups to endure the cold, and seals and walruses navigate through icy waters in search of food. Among these animals, the walrus stands out with its massive size, thick fat layer, and distinctive tusks, contributing to the unique and vibrant ecosystem of the region. These creatures are well adapted to survive in the planet's most extreme environments. Round Island, part of Alaska's archipelago, provides a crucial haven for male walruses from May to September. During this period, thousands of walruses congregate here, transforming the barren rocks into a bustling resting ground. After enduring long oceanic journeys, the walruses prepare for the upcoming mating season. Their time here is a delicate balance between game and conflict. While they rest, soaking up rare sunlight, or huddling together for warmth, the larger males often engage in fierce battles to secure prime spots on the rocks or assert their dominance in the group. Walruses are bottom feeders, diving deep into the ocean to find mollusks like clams and mussels. Using their sensitive whiskers, they detect their prey hidden in the sand. However, their return journey is fraught with challenges, as the cold waters often deplete food sources. On an expansive ice field near the Arctic shoreline, a group of walruses rests after a long day of diving for food. The adults, with their enormous bodies and thick blubber, huddle together for warmth, while the calves snuggle up to their mothers. The air is filled with the soft sounds of snorts and chirps, creating a seemingly tranquil atmosphere. However, lurking nearby, a polar bear, a fearsome predator, waits patiently, using the ice floes as cover to inch closer to the herd. The walruses remain vigilant, but can do little to protect each other. In the silence of the snow and ice, the polar bear begins its meal, using every part of its prey to survive on the freezing surface. The scene slowly returns to calm, as if nothing had occurred. On the Arctic cliffs, a heartbreaking sight unfolds. Hundreds of giant walruses leap from great heights, plummeting onto the jagged rocks below. This tragic behavior is not instinctual, but a direct result of climate change. As the ice, their traditional habitat, melts at an alarming pace, walruses are forced to find refuge on beaches and cliffs. In the overcrowded spaces, many are compelled to climb steep mountains for shelter. When hunger or panic sets in, they sometimes plunge from great heights, unaware of the deadly consequences below. Falls from such heights have claimed the lives of many, creating a painful scene reminiscent of the heart-wrenching footage in Our Planet. This image serves not only to showcase the harsh realities of nature, but also to highlight the devastating effects of climate change. It reminds us that the disruptions of ecosystems is no longer a distant threat. It is an ongoing crisis, pushing walruses and many other species toward extinction. Life in the frozen wild, the resilience of red foxes, and their struggle for survival. In the vast, snow-covered expanses where biting cold prevails, the cold regions are home to remarkably resilient creatures. Here, the harsh cold is not simply a challenge. It is woven into the very fabric of life. Among these survivors are the mighty polar bears, the reindeer that traverse frozen woodlands, and the daring seabirds, all equipped with extraordinary adaptations to thrive in this extreme environment. In the Northern Hemisphere's frozen realms, where snow blankets every inch and winter lingers, the red fox, Vulpes vulpes, stands as a symbol of endurance. Its thick, plush fur shifts with the seasons, transitioning from vibrant red to a mixed white, perfectly blending into the snowy surroundings. The red fox, adept at surviving in the harshest conditions, has developed a remarkable strategy to hunt mice in winter, showcasing its keen intelligence and agility. Beneath the snow, the fox's prey lies still, its ears twitching slightly to catch any sound. The fox, with its eyes locked on a particular spot, remains motionless. When it pounces, its eyes gleam with success as it captures the mouse, but its triumph is fleeting. From above, the enormous wings of a golden eagle appear, its keen eyebolt zeroing in on the mouse against the white snow. The eagle, with a wingspan exceeding 2 meters, swoops down to claim its prize. The fox quickly retreats, leaving the eagle to feast. This encounter between the fox and the eagle is a stark reminder of the fierce competition for survival in the wild. Despite the relentless winter, life moves forward. Between December and February, foxes enter their mating season. Their calls echo through the cold nights, signaling the start of a new generation. After a 50-day gestation period, the mother gives birth to her cubs in early spring, when the snow begins to recede. In cozy burrows beneath trees or rocks, the mother tenderly cares for her tiny cubs, who weigh less than 100 grams and are covered in soft, fluffy fur. Meanwhile, the father hunts for food, bringing back mice, rabbits, and small birds to nourish the family. As spring arrives and the snow melts, the cubs venture out, their soft fur turning the characteristic bright red. They leave the burrow to explore the budding meadows. In the wide open fields, the cubs frolic and chase each other, their playful antics filling the air with energy. They nip at each other's ears and tails, their playful growls echoing in the breeze. This lively scene reflects the vitality of nature, but not all is fun and games. The young fox's survival instincts begin to emerge. They start engaging in rough play, with the older cubs attempting to assert their dominance. They bite, push, and chase each other relentlessly, determining their rank in the sibling hierarchy. While the tussles are intense, they rarely result in real harm. These playfights are crucial lessons for the cubs, helping them develop the skills needed for self-defense and leadership later in life. As dusk falls and the cubs tire from their playful games, they gather around their mother. The mother, ever watchful, silently observes them, occasionally grooming her fur as a gesture of care. Although mischievous, the kits find comfort in their mother's warmth and protection. Each day in the wild brings new lessons. From their early days playing in the meadows, the cubs grow stronger and wiser, learning the essential skills they will need to navigate the challenges of their unforgiving world. Surviving the frozen frontier. The Arctic wolf's struggle for survival in a changing world. The Arctic, a realm of ice and harsh wilderness, demands that every creature face relentless challenges. In this unforgiving environment, only the strongest can endure and thrive. Among these resilient beings, the Arctic wolf stands as a true symbol of endurance and resourcefulness. With a thick, double-layered coat of white fur, the Arctic wolf is perfectly designed to withstand the brutal, biting winds. Their dense outer coat repels rain and snow, while the soft undercoat traps warmth, enabling them to survive in temperatures as low as 50 degrees. Additionally, the Arctic wolf's small ears and bushy tail help minimize heat loss, an essential adaptation for survival. Their long, powerful legs are covered in thick fur and sharp claws, which allow them to move with ease over icy terrain and dig through thick snow to find food. Equipped with an acute sense of smell, Arctic wolves can detect prey from miles away, even when hidden beneath the snow. During the Arctic summer, as the rare green grass peeks through melting snow, musk oxen graze on the mountain slopes, absorbing the brief warmth of the sun. The adults carefully survey their surroundings, while the young ones explore the lower areas of the mountainside. From a hidden vantage point on the mountain's edge, a pack of Arctic wolves watches the herd of musk oxen, which remains unaware of the looming threat. But when the wind shifts, carrying the scent of the predators, the musk oxen instantly become alert. The adults form a protective circle, their horns outward, safeguarding the vulnerable juveniles in the center. The air is tense. The wolves do not rush. They wait for the right moment. When a young musk ox strays from the herd, the opportunity presents itself. A sharp howl cuts through the silence, and the wolves, moving with terrifying speed, charge down the mountainside. Additionally, the Arctic wolf's small ears and bushy tail help minimize heat loss, an essential adaptation for survival. Their long, powerful legs are covered in thick fur and sharp claws, which allow them to move with ease over icy terrain and dig through thick snow to find food. Equipped with an acute sense of smell, Arctic wolves can detect prey from miles away, even when hidden beneath the snow. During the Arctic summer, as the rare green grass peeks through melting snow, musk oxen graze on the mountain slopes, absorbing the brief warmth of the sun. The adults carefully survey their surroundings, while the young ones explore the lower areas of the mountainside. From a hidden vantage point on the mountain's edge, a pack of Arctic wolves watches the herd of musk oxen, which remains unaware of the looming threat. But when the wind shifts, carrying the scent of the predators, the musk oxen instantly become alert. The adults form a protective circle, their horns outward, safeguarding the vulnerable juveniles in the center. The air is tense. The wolves do not rush. They wait for the right moment. When a young musk ox strays from the herd, the opportunity presents itself. A sharp howl cuts through the silence, and the wolves, moving with terrifying speed, charge down the mountainside. In the golden light of the Arctic afternoon, the wolves gather around their hard-earned feast, savoring their kill. The remaining musk oxen continue their ascent, leaving behind a harsh lesson in survival. Beneath the fierce demeanor of the Arctic wolf lies a deep bond with its family. The pack operates as a close-knit unit, where unity and mutual care are vital for overcoming the harsh conditions of the Arctic. As spring arrives and the snow begins to melt, the female wolves seek out safe places to give birth. Small caves carved into solid ice or nestled among rocks serve as sheltered dens for the newborn pups. These tiny, blind pups depend entirely on the protection of their mother and the collective support of the pack. The adult wolves take turns hunting, bringing food back to the den to ensure the pups' survival. This selfless care allows the Arctic wolf pack to continue thriving in such a harsh environment. Despite their resilience, the Arctic wolves, like all creatures, are not immune to the challenges posed by climate change and human activity. The melting ice threatens their natural habitat, and the shrinking availability of food forces them to venture farther, sometimes coming into conflict with human settlements. Nevertheless, the Arctic wolf's remarkable adaptability and tenacity allow it to continue fighting for its place in the frozen wilderness, holding on to its existence in an ever-changing world. Polar bears, masters of survival in a rapidly changing Arctic. The polar bear is a true marvel of evolution. Uniquely suited to survive in the planet's harshest conditions, an adult polar bear can grow up to 2.5 meters tall when standing on its hind legs and weighs between 350 and 700 kilos. Beneath its skin lies a thick layer of fat that provides crucial insulation against the cold, while also serving as a vital energy reserve during times when food is scarce. With its white fur, the polar bear blends seamlessly into the snow-covered landscape, making it nearly invisible to its prey. Its remarkable sense of smell allows it to detect seals from over a kilometer away or even beneath a meter of ice, a critical skill in this frigid environment. On a remote ice floe, a seal rests exhausted beneath the ice, unaware of the looming predator. The polar bear advances silently, each movement synchronized with the stillness of the Arctic. The bear takes its time, standing motionless on the ice, its keen eyes fixed on the slightest movement of the seal. Every action is calculated. When the seal raises its head to survey the surroundings, the bear freezes, blending perfectly with the snowy surroundings. In a swift and decisive move, the polar bear strikes, sinking its powerful jaws into the seal's neck. Despite the seal's desperate struggle, it's futile. With one final, crushing bite, the hunt is over. However, the warming climate and melting ice are making it increasingly difficult for the polar bear to find seals, its primary food source. An adult bear requires about 2 kilograms of fat daily to sustain its energy. When food becomes scarce, the bear is forced to travel long distances in search of a meal, sometimes covering dozens of kilometers. Each unsuccessful hunt takes a toll, weakening the bear and making survival even more challenging in a rapidly changing Arctic. When hunger becomes unbearable, the polar bear may turn to unconventional sources of food, such as seabirds or even the carcasses of whales. This remarkable adaptability showcases its survival instincts in the face of adversity. During times of extreme scarcity, polar bears often engage in brutal conflicts with one another over limited resources. These confrontations are dangerous and can lead to serious injuries. In the freezing Arctic, the polar bear stands as the apex predator, symbolizing strength and resilience in an unforgiving environment. Yet, even this formidable creature cannot escape the effects of climate change. The polar bear serves as a reminder that even the strongest must constantly adapt and fight to survive, facing a relentless series of challenges in an ever-changing world. Penguin chicks, a journey of survival in the frozen heart of Antarctica. In the frozen expanse of Antarctica, where temperatures plummet to below 60 degrees and the icy winds cut through like blades, a remarkable story of survival unfolds. It is the story of the first steps of baby penguins, each one not just an instinctive motion, but a courageous struggle for life. Here, every moment without protection could mean the end for a vulnerable chick. Yet the baby penguins are not alone in their battle for survival. They are shielded by the entire colony, supported by the resilience of their parents, and driven by an extraordinary will to live that courses through every one of them. The journey of these penguin chicks begins long before they hatch, inside the safety of their eggs. The emperor penguin, the largest bird in Antarctica, has a unique role in their survival. Instead of building nests, the males protect their eggs beneath their skin, balancing them on their feet and covering them with a flap of skin. In the midst of brutal winters, the males remain still and endure freezing temperatures and fierce snowstorms, all to protect the precious eggs. When spring arrives, the eggs begin to hatch. The chicks are tiny and fragile, completely dependent on their parents' care. From the moment they are born, the cold is their greatest enemy. If they are separated from the warmth of their parents for even a few minutes, they would not survive. As they grow, the little penguins begin to venture away from their parents, seeking warmth from others. But this is a perilous time. Antarctica's unforgiving environment waits for the slightest misstep. Their first steps are clumsy as they try to find their footing on the slick ice. One little chick slips and falls. Its tiny legs struggle to push it upright, but the ice is too smooth, and the penguin wobbles repeatedly. The adult penguins nearby do not intervene. This is the first lesson in life the chick must learn, to stand up and try again. In the distance, danger is always lurking. The lethal leopard seals, fast and patient predators, approach the colony. If one chick strays too far from the group, it becomes an easy target. A curious chick wanders away, oblivious to the lurking threat. Just in time, the parents' warning calls ring through the air, and the chick scurries back to safety, narrowly escaping danger. The Antarctic environment is harsh, not only due to the extreme cold, but also because of the constant presence of predators. The leopard seal, with its sharp jaws and lightning-fast strikes, is one of the penguin's greatest enemies. As the adult penguins dive into the sea to forage, they often find themselves under attack from these swift aquatic hunters. However, the leopard seals are solitary hunters and must always remain vigilant for any chance to strike at the young chicks. In the sky, large seagulls also present a threat. A slow or distracted chick is an easy target for these aerial predators. But the colony's protective structure works like a shield, ensuring the safety of the young penguins. The adults form tight formations around the chicks, warding off any threat. As time passes, the chicks grow stronger. They become more confident in their movements, walking steadily on the ice, balancing against the fierce winds. With the arrival of summer, their soft down is replaced by dense feathers that protect them from the bitter cold. It's also the season when they take their first dives into the water, learning to control their bodies as they swim and hunt for food, preparing for the challenges of adulthood. The hesitant steps of their early days have transformed into firm, confident strides. The penguin chicks, once entirely dependent on their parents, are now ready to face the vast, icy world on their own. Their first steps on the endless glaciers of Antarctica mark the beginning of a long and difficult journey. Having conquered the extreme cold, avoided deadly predators, and faced the unforgiving environment, each step signifies their strength and resilience. These courageous chicks, driven by their instinct for survival, are a testament to the indomitable spirit of nature, thriving in one of the harshest places on Earth. Day by day, step by step, life continues to flourish, showing that even in the most extreme conditions, the strength to persist remains unbroken. The Arctic and Antarctic are harsh yet resilient worlds, where creatures like the walrus, red fox, Arctic wolf, and penguin show incredible endurance. Their survival in such extreme conditions reminds us of the urgent need to protect these ecosystems from the threat of climate change. Their strength and adaptability continue to inspire, urging us to take action before it's too late.